so naughty that I know that you want to, like, watch a man that has a big dick make love to another woman over you, and that I, as a man, is, like, giving my concept of a man to fight for the right to fight over you. As a woman that likes to watch guys fight over her pussy, I know it's crazy, but I do want to fight over your pussy. I love your pussy. And I know it's naughty, and I would fight any man over the right to fight for your pussy to show that I am tougher than any man else in Kelowna that wants to fight over you. Kind of sexy, right? I really would want to fight any guy over the right to fight to make love to you. It's naughty, I know. And I know that there's guys that might have bigger dicks than mine, but my dick is pretty big. And I will definitely put my penis on the line, the length on the line, the thickness on the line, over fighting over the right to prove that I'm tougher than any of the guys that wants to fight over your pussy. And I know we are all so naughty. We are all so naughty. I know.
Yeah. No scripts, no apologies. This is Monte and the Pharaoh. Step into the fire, we're breaking all the rules. Voices getting louder, we ain't playing for fools. From the streets of New York to the worldwide stage, uncaged opinions, yeah, we bring the rage. Truth hits hard like a chair shot swing. Legends get tested when the real ones sing. No filter talk, yeah, we say it proud. If you got a problem, say it out loud. Lights go down, we ignite the sound. No backing down when the truth comes out. We're the no filter kings, yeah, we run this game. Monte and the Pharaoh, remember the name. Turn it up loud, let the whole world hear. We bring the heat, bring the pain, bring the fear. No filter kings, yeah, we cross that line. Say what we want every single time. From the top rope down to the underground. And our Pharaoh gonna shake this
And new AEW champion, weighing at 117 pounds, Darby Allin.
117 pounds soaking wet. You forgot to throw in the soaking wet part.
I just don't listen, dude. I don't. How are you supposed to build an organization when you just keep flipping the titles over and over and over again? How long's MJF been champion? 4 weeks? 5 weeks?
Well, did the established champions in the past prove to do anything? For look, they only hit their million plus when they had Punk. But you know what? That's what their audience wants, so that's what their audience gets. And wrestling has passed some of us by, and that's pretty obvious because I guess some of the kids want Darby Allin as world heavyweight champion.
You know what, Jimmy? It's hard to argue. It's hard to argue.
He has done a ton with, as you described him, 117 pounds soaking wet. Darby Allin has really been the little train that could. I'll give him all the credit in the world as far as what he's physically put himself under. But I have no idea why wrestling fans want this. It doesn't do anything for me. What is he, an extreme version of Jeff Hardy? Let's be honest here. Look at his body type, you know. I mean, and Jeff is probably a skyscraper next to him. I'm not sure, but you know, this is what people. This is why the Kenny Omega approach was loved so much. But to Kenny's credit, at least he was a true heavyweight. But the flippy floppy, and he's you know, throwing the extreme stuff. He is unique.
I mean, think about it this way, Jimmy. Right? We just had Paul Diamond on, right? And Paul's like, I was 170 pounds when I started. Okay, Paul was a decently sized guy. He wasn't overly small. I mean, we're at a point now that, in the second biggest or maybe the third biggest organization, you're going to put the strap on,
It's really different for him, and too, in his case, we've been given, why don't we think about this for a second? We've been given some small champions in the past, right? Not too many. And to me, the only one, maybe I should think about it more, but gut reaction, the only one that ever made me feel like, you know what, he is a wrestling champion. And no, it's not Rey Mysterio. Like when they put the belt on Mysterio, I didn't feel Rey Mysterio was a world heavyweight champion. I didn't feel Kofi Kingston was a world heavyweight champion. When they put it on Daniel Bryan, I understood. Like that's why sometimes I still scratch my head. Why have they not tried to get Will Ospreay? Because I do think like that's the kind of guy that if you put the belt on him, yeah, he's a champion. Okay, I could see that. Benoit, I always saw it. We talked about Benoit in the past, on the past show. Mm-hmm. But I always saw it when I saw Chris Benoit in the ring. I'm like, yeah, I could see him being a world champion.
Again, Benoit had, he was pretty jacked. He was not.
No, now we're getting bigger, but I'm just talking about guys who feel like world champions. I guess I've added to the conversation. Forgive me, but
fair enough.
It's not just the small guys. It's also, do they feel like a world champion? Eddie Guerrero, at the point that he wound up with the belt, did feel like a world champion. If you would put that belt on him back in those cruiserweight days, I would have been like, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
By the way, we want to welcome our friend Ribshot. I want to give Ribshot some props, man. The guy's doing really well on social media. I see his stuff getting looked all over.
Get a load of that.
It's a load of that. But he wants to know, Jimmy, is that song You Are AI?
Oh, come on. You do not, Rib. Don't insult me like that. I love your side of the pond. How dare you? You think I'd come up with some of those words? Those goofy-ass words? We say whatever we want all the time and all this other crap. No. And, Mike, could you get AI? When you make a muscle, you put your arms up here. AI
that's legitimately my arms, dude. That's not an AI arm, okay?
No, not your arm, you bonehead. I'm talking about the Goldberg one where you got me making muscles like in my
dude.
You put your shoulders up here. What's wrong with you?
What are you gonna see now? I could be an AEW world champion. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh God!
Listen, dude, that's a good song. Wait a minute, AI or not, it's a good song. Come on, it sounds good. It's got a good rip to it. It's okay.
It's the song that got kicked off Crazy Nights from Kiss. They were like, we're not putting this on the album. This is terrible.
AI's taking over the world. Rib says you should picture your world champion as facing Andre the Giant. You're 100% correct, sir.
Well, if you did, yeah, or look, who's your favorite? Who's your favorite? Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper steps across and stares at Andre the Giant and looks up at him. How on earth does Roddy do it? He feels just as big, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. By the way, just Rib says as a musician, you should be insulted as that being the intro song.
Now Rib is starting to preach my gospel. There you go, Rib. Now I'm coming back.
Well, Rib's got to understand something. I can't continue to keep using songs that are getting copyrighted. It's too much work.
No, you know what, Mike? We should do our version of Happy Trails like Van Halen did on the B-side of Pretty Woman.
And you know what? It would get flagged. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. By the way, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Join our sponsor, FanDuel, as a partner with Monte and the Pharaoh. FanDuel, where if you're broke, bet your money. Take a chance. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? You fucking won't be able to eat another sandwich. Fuck it. Right, Jimmy? Fuck it.
I'm a Jet fan. I take a chance every time I turn on television.
So I do listen. The one thing you did say though is look, I got to be honest with you. I wasn't into it, but you know, some of these characters they have aren't too bad, right? The clown character, that guy you like, what the fuck's his name?
Danhausen?
Danhausen. Yeah.
You forgot his name.
I forgot.
You know what
his
that
name.
means, don't you?
No,
You
don't even start.
are
No,
cursed.
don't say it. Don't say
I
it.
pointed this way. I didn't point right at you. So
Dude, but I
got
gotta tell you, I watched him wrestle Friday night on SmackDown. It was kind of fun. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah, you gotta serve him lightly. Otherwise, you're gonna get so sick of him. You're gonna be like, oh, this is the worst. Not him again. Right now, they're doing it correctly. Dude, be very careful.
All right, answer this one for me, okay?
Yeah.
And I want to ask everybody out there, as a wrestling fan, if you grow up loving wrestling, I never understood that if you grew up loving wrestling, how come people don't pick up weights? You know what I mean? And try to be big like a wrestler.
I never picked up weights.
But you're not a small guy, though.
Yeah, I'm not a big guy.
But you're not small.
No, I'm not small. No, you're right. I don't know. I mean, look at some of the wrestling. You know what? What about the wrestling kids we were friends with? Matt Rosenthal was in good shape.
Wait a minute.
Good shape.
Wait a minute. You know what?
Billy the Giant.
Rib is starting shit. Rib is starting shit. He says,
what is he
the
starting?
song is egregious, as is the creepy intro video. It's like the kid that made it look like kids. Listen, here's the thing, dude. Here's the way I got to look at it, okay? And I'll be honest with you. When people do art, they're insulted that a computer can equal what you can produce in a second of time.
It doesn't equal it. It does not equal it. See, that's where you get this is the non-artist trying to tell the artist, I did something just as good as you could do. And the artist goes,
so all right, so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Rib uses a computer to make cartoons. He's not drawing it. He's not drawing it by hand. So if I was hold on, let me say my point. So if I was a drawer and I was actually a cartoon drawer, would I be insulted that Rib uses a computer? This is what I'm saying.
Probably.
It's like
that's possible.
But listen, there's tools.
Charles Schultz today would probably be like, what the fuck with the internet artistry? Absolutely. Or he might like it. I don't know.
He says he does everything by hand. It's a PDF formatted system, man, that makes those cartoons. Come on, I'm not a rookie here. I know how it works. I know how it works.
That's funny.
I know how it works.
So
here's the deal. It's like, so Charles Schultz should get mad because now there's a computer program that can make it. This is life, man.
Sure.
Listen, that's like the carpenter who gets mad because someone uses power tools.
Right.
Look,
listen, if you're the first one to run out and buy an AI generated music album, good for you. I'll stick with Bob Dylan. And as far as
I'm going to say this. I would never say in a million years that AI could ever, not at this point anyway of AI, that it could master. Well, you know what, Jimmy? I would tell you this. You're a very good songwriter. So if you wrote a song and you gave it to AI and you said, hey, do this, 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 and this.
Yeah.
It might end up, again, you got to remember something. I wrote those lyrics. Okay. I am not talented like you.
Right.
So I would question whether it would sound excellent. Who knows?
Yeah, well, I'm not leaving it up to a machine. How many episodes of Captain Kirk do you need to watch before you relearn what we already know? You know, there are some positive things about it, but there's also, I still prefer the organic human.
Ribs challenged me. So there's a, I didn't mean PDF, sorry, because in my real life I make lots of money, Rib, because I use a lot of things. So this is not my real life, but I will say this. I meant Adobe. You're using Adobe to make the cartoons. You're not hand drawing anything.
I haven't heard that word in a long time.
Let's be realistic, okay? You do great work. He does great work. It takes a lot of time, but again, it's computer generated. So, you're not sitting there with sheets. Remember the old school sheets where they used to do one little step of like Mickey Mouse, like. You imagine how much time that used to take? How pissed off does that guy get?
Right. Well, let me ask you this. You write something like This Life. You just praised, my ability to put something together.
This Life's a very good song.
Let's say you wrote that, you come to me, and I tell you, you know what? Let's check with the machine. Mm-hmm. Would you really want this life messed with? I'll tell you what, the real life experience, Eddie Kramer gave me back a mix I wasn't happy with, and I was forced to tell my favorite producer in the history of rock music, I don't like this. You're not doing it that way. You're doing it this way because this is the way I intend it to sound. Not a machine, not Eddie Kramer, me. I wrote it. I felt it. It's about my experiences, and this is mine.
Okay, but
so no.
But let's get to the
You wouldn't be
facts
too
now.
happy. I wouldn't expect you to be too happy, especially if you had the ability to write something like that.
But some of the most famous
what?
people, singers now, they're using auto-tune. They might not be able to sing a lick. You wouldn't even know.
And who are they? To me, you're asking me my opinion. Here's my opinion. Who are these famous singers today that are using autotune to me in comparison to John Lennon, to Paul McCartney, to Jimi Hendrix, to Ozzy Osbourne, to Robert Plant, to Ian Gillan, to David Lee Roth? No, I want to hear the human. Let the human go, man. He's really good at it. So no. If this is where we're heading, great. It doesn't mean I have to be part of the ride.
So by the way, Rib says he doesn't use Adobe. You know what? He says he's not using Adobe. I don't know. All I know is that pro. Look, listen. I will listen. Rib. Here's the one thing I got to give. I got to give Rib credit. Rib was the first one. Rib was the first one to start doing this, which is good. But guess what's happening? Just like everything else. Now Conrad is doing it.
Right.
If you notice, I don't know if you're on YouTube, but I happened to catch, what was it? It was one of the Conrad shows, Bruce Pritchard show. They cartoonized. They did the same thing Rib's doing. So soon everybody will be doing it.
Of course.
So, again, first to market. And then it ends up who's doing best and who can do the best thing. And again, Jimmy, just because you don't like it, the fact of the matter is these people become rich over and they can't sing a lick. So, it is what it is.
I don't like. Look, I've had to readjust. Look, Paris Hilton got to cut an album decades ago. You think I haven't already adjusted to going, oh, my God, another fucking twisted fucking futtnucker for an example? Here we go again. Whatever.
Okay, so then, should a professional wrestler get mad that I Show Speed is at WrestleMania?
If I'm a professional wrestler, yeah, I don't want any part of that. But you know what? That's part of the business. And look, if my checks are what my checks are, I think I could live with myself.
But again, right, when we were just talking about this and you were saying, well, this guy and this guy and this guy, I'm going to say it to you again. I Show Speed is at WrestleMania.
Right.
How does that make the wrestler who doesn't, Io Sky, who doesn't get in? I Show Speed took her spot.
Well, not to play devil's advocate, didn't you spend a decade or so trying to figure out how CM Punk could possibly walk away? You already have your answer. You have your answer. And it's ironic that Punk is back now main eventing while I Show Speed is on the card. Isn't that interesting?
Well, because, again,
in the real world, is what the paycheck is.
Thank you. In the real world, you can hang on your laurels and say I'm this and I'm saying that. Money is king.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you use a tool that could create something successfully,
right?
And that you use a quarter of the time to do it, right?
Hell of a bump too. Does he get any credit for that? My God.
Well, again, here's what's happening, Jim. If you talk about the real world, if you're thinking about it, anybody now could be a YouTube streamer, and if they get popular enough, they'll be at WrestleMania next year.
Right. Sure.
But this is the society we live in.
Yeah.
Right?
Is instant gratification, a good way to describe what we do nowadays? I mean, everything.
I don't know if it's instant gratification. What I'm saying is, it's everything. If you're in the business world, everything is on time and motion, time and motion, time and motion.
Right.
It's revenue generated moves. So if it takes me just for this conversation, again, I'm not picking on Rib because Rib does great work. And I understand that he's not an AI fan. He's already made that clear. Okay. All right. But in the realities of life, Jimmy, it's like this. if say Rib on his channel, he does very well. I'll just say he makes $1,000 a month, right? If I had to guess, okay. If I had to guess, I could be wrong. Could be a little less, could be a little more, but we'll just call it $1,000. But Rib has told us how much time it takes him to put into those videos.
Yeah.
Okay. So Rib is one man, and let's just say for him to do that CM Punk video, it took 50 man hours. All right. And I'm assuming Rib works in real life, and let's say he makes $40 an hour, right? So just do the math.
No idea.
Right? So whatever revenue he generates off that video, you got to take that off the top. That's time. Forget about it. He loves doing it and he does a great job. We're just talking pure dollars. Now we can look at Conrad, who probably has a team of people doing it, and they're probably doing it in a quarter of time, right? But he's paying those people. And then, so you remember something, AI is not that advanced yet, dude. It's pretty much in its infancy, okay? There'll come a point where AI can create.
Is that what you think?
Oh, I know for a fact.
Really,
dude? I know a guy who works for a company now.
I believe that the government has forms of AI that we don't have any fucking privy to. That's what I believe.
You might be could.
So I don't believe that what you just said for a fact. I think that the government's got shit already. I think that one day we could see a simulated AI attack and the whole World War III will get started and nobody would know the goddamn difference now, would they?
So here's the thing. This is what Rib's right about. YouTube just demonized thousands of channels for generating AI videos with for channels for generating videos with AI. It's a great tool. I agree with that, but it doesn't replace human. Listen, no, human creativity. But again, let me put it this way. I can't sing, but I'm a good songwriter. Okay. This is an example. I'm not saying this is what's going on. Okay. I write a song, Jimmy. Like I said, if you took this life, okay, I would be interested to see putting that words into AI and see what it would create. Not saying it would be better, but it would be interesting to see what it would. That's all. That's all I got to say. And you're right. The government does have better forms of AI, and
probably
right.
I don't know.
All right. So I was going to tell you, I have a friend who works for a company right now. They are working in McDonald's, making McDonald's a one-person show run by AI.
Oh, great.
That means your food is being cooked by a computer.
Wonderful. How many more people out of jobs so some machine can do? No, this is not good. This has been like Walmart, 20 cash register lanes, 2 open. What are we doing here? How are we supposed to help everyday schnooks who don't have the blessings that some of us are so privy to or have earned or whatever? You got to have jobs out there. I don't want AI running McDonald's. All right? Where does it stop? Okay? That's bullshit. That's bad. That's not good. We need jobs to be created, not taken away thanks to a robot.
I'm not disagreeing with you, dude.
I feel like that. I feel like Senator Kennedy right now. I mean, my God, common sense, folks. What the fuck? And if you touch this life and put it through a machine, I'll write a coda for you.
But on the other hand, Jimmy, where it would take me, right? I receive about anywhere from 4 to 1,000 emails a day. Okay.
Ugh, why?
Because this is life, right?
Leave me alone.
But here's the thing: with AI now, I can summarize email chains in literally 8 seconds and get bullet points. Right?
But that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. When it starts to create for you, no. When it starts to replace you, no. If it helps you do something to benefit your job without harming you or anyone else, and the human factor still remains king in the motive, okay.
Well, what it allows is that you can use your talents in order to generate more revenue for the company instead of reading fucking emails all day.
That example you just gave me is fine for AI. That's great. There's nothing that'd be silly to, what is this cat doing?
Listen to what Rip just said.
What?
AI has replaced the whole department where I work. They spent 6 months helping develop the technology, and then, yeah, man, it's
no.
For the younger people, it's not good, dude.
It's not good for anybody. It's not good for anybody. What, the old aren't affected by the young? Of course we are, and vice versa. We're still all in this fucking shitstorm together.
I think a lot of people are feeling the same way, man. Mitch
Yeah.
Seinfeld, the reason they have moved to self-checkout is because workers don't show up. Jimmy, that's a good point from Mitch, right?
Come on, no, man. You can't find people who would show up. Look, maybe I'm not going to say everybody from a younger generation has no work ethic, but my God, really?
But Jimmy,
we can't
let's
find
you
these
got
jobs to be filled.
but that
We
is
need
a
to
problem.
Eliminate them. That's the answer. We'll eliminate them
because everybody wants to make their living on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Well, if that's what's going on, then I'm not privy to it. It's not part of my. I still believe in going out and working.
I understand, dude. I understand.
Whatever. But I don't see how anybody could argue that the job should be eliminated. That's that is bad math, folks.
But if you owned a business and you can't get people to stay going to work every day, why wouldn't
That's
you?
That's the problem. But
right?
You also have to ask yourself as a business, who am I hiring?
What if no one wants to work, Jimmy? What if nobody wants to work?
One of the worst positions I've ever seen, and I've always found it a laugh, and I know you will too, because you've come across these, you've had to deal with these people, these so-called human resources people in these companies who don't think about the human beings at all. And it makes me laugh because they get paid to be the middle person, the friendly face that bonds you with your company. Oh, bullshit. Okay, and when you have a conglomerate like Walmart, and there once upon a time, because they built it that way in the beginning, there were 20 cash register aisles, so you could get rung up. Walmart's still making all this money. It's still insane to try to get out of there on any day of the week. Why is there 2 cash registers open and the other? You're making a fortune. Hire some fucking people. Oh, they don't want to keep the job. Hire the right people. You know how many of us are out there? There's kabillion. We have a population problem, and you can't find 18 people in the city of wherever to fucking work the registers? You're a bad manager. How about that?
Mitch, we all know what Mitch does. But Mitch was saying at the place he was just at, 12 cashiers booked Saturday, 3 called out. And by the way, Phil and Jason bring up a good point. These data centers are using up a lot of water and a lot of power. That is true too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a mess. It's definitely a mess.
Well, let's talk about important stuff. So, on the channel, we just had Paul Diamond on. We talked about Chris Benoit, and still after all these years, Chris Benoit, is still people defending him. And I thought it'd be a good idea to discuss some of the things that have gone on in wrestling history, and kind of just discuss and tell me your thoughts about why people are still fans, or do we separate the fanhood away from the actual person? So, Jimmy, we'll start with this. We all know that Chris Benoit, I think it was 2007, murdered his wife and child. You still have people out there saying that, it was CTE, he was set up, it was the government, whatever else. Why do fans of sport, Chris Benoit, still defend this guy?
Yeah, this is coming in a week where I had somebody tell me that Hitler was right, and you're asking me why people still defend this guy?
Wow, someone said that to you? Wow.
Yeah. It was very interesting. Why do people still defend Chris Benoit? Because some people just love conspiracies. Some of us just do. I don't particularly. I'm not a big fan of conspiracies like, the earth is flat, we were never on the moon. This conspiracy.
Well, I honestly don't believe we were on the moon when we said we were on the moon.
Yeah, the whole thing was a lie. Yeah, I know. I heard Kubrick shot it, or Polanski or something.
I'm not saying we never went to the moon. I'm just saying we didn't go to the moon when we said we went to the moon. That's all.
Interesting. Okay.
And I'll give you the reason why, and tell me if you disagree with this. We just saw these guys go up in space, right, just now?
Yeah.
They still have these major problems up there. So what would make you think in the 60s that we could go there?
No, the only major thing that is they still haven't figured out what happens when they go around to the back of the moon. There's a 40-minute void of no contact, which was the problem also in 1969. The one that was left on the ship while the other 2 were on the moon talked about that 40-minute period. There's a spot where you go behind the moon where they do lose contact. That's the only major thing. Other than that, this mission went very smooth. So that's my take on the whole moon thing. I don't care for conspiracies. I want proof. I don't want blah blah. You know, and a lot of it is blah
Well,
blah to
but
me.
you know what proof is
Yeah.
there though, dude? Just because they showed you
Well,
on
what proof
television and
do you
some people
want at the
floating around?
time the limited technology, this was what was afforded to us. I mean, it's
So that's what I'm saying. We had
1969.
limited technology for
Uh-huh.
television, but we could go to the fucking moon. This is what I'm trying
Well,
to say.
apparently, well, we had rockets. You deny the presence that the rockets could get up into space. You're denying that too.
I think we had the capability of doing that.
So
Yes.
we had a capability of getting into space. So yeah, I don't know. Some things go faster than others. I don't. Television for some reason took longer. I don't
All
know.
right. Well, let me not drag us down this rabbit hole. So why? You as a fan, you've been fan
Because
of music. Like you brought up the fact we know a particular person that has a lot to say about a lot of people, but but he likes this particular singer who abused his wife,
right,
right? Right?
yeah, yeah.
Um,
James Brown,
James
yes,
Brown. Why do
uh-huh.
people feel like if they like someone,
Because it's
then
selective. Because it's selective. Like the hating on Hogan. Some people hate Hogan no matter what, or the hating on President Trump, and some people love conspiracies. Look, we're in the generation of where people just have the freedom to spill diarrhea all over their keyboard. That's it. So that's where we are. And there goes my cat again. That's where we are. People throw shit out there
so
all
then
the time.
what about people that say we defend Vince McMahon?
Well, we defend Vince McMahon because Vince McMahon has never been placed in handcuffs. So on a reality basis, what?
Right.
Hasn't that always been our stance? I mean, we could do this all night, by the way.
Well, let me
You know
ask you
what I
this:
mean?
the beloved Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? He's been accused of and arrested of for spousal abuse with Deborah McMichael and with his former
Right,
wife, Lady Blossom.
right, and he's beloved, and Hogan is hated. It's
He got
selective.
probation and he got no jail time.
It's all selective,
But I also
isn't it?
think, dude, I also think, Jimmy, that it's the certain crime. Like we were speaking, with Ron
Hold on.
Waterman.
Okay, hold
Good.
on. But that's good that you said that. It's a certain crime. So you just reported that Stone Cold, it's been documented, correct?
Yes.
Was physically uh, having some physical altercations with women. True or false?
Yep. Lady
Oh,
Blossom put
oh,
his book. Deborah
okay, so
McMichael's been on record.
that's documented and it's physical and it absolutely sucks. But he's beloved. And then you have Hogan, who was caught illegally, in my mind, because nobody deserves to be fucking illegally recorded. I don't give a shit. Caught saying the N word, because he didn't want his daughter dating a certain type. Which one to you is worse? We've got physically beating down women, physically beating on them. A couple of times you got to have the police there. What's worse, that or being illegally telling someone who you thought was your friend, I can't believe this so-and-so is dating my daughter. Why couldn't she, blah, blah, blah. Which one is worse?
So
I'm
you're right,
asking
Jimmy.
you.
Jimmy, you're right. But this is what I'm saying. This is what's wrong with
They
society.
both suck.
People get more upset over words or racial comments than they do a woman being beaten up. Because women at this point, we've talked about this on so many other shows. Women to this day are still not treated correctly.
In certain instances, absolutely not. I think
Listen,
it's getting worse.
Go ahead, Jimmy. I'm sorry.
I actually think it's getting worse for everybody, if you want to know the truth. But yes, no, I don't disagree with what you said.
You opened up about Phil, who walked away, but now, as long as he's making that green,
right,
he's fine doing all this stuff.
How about
this? That's what I'm trying to say. The women, right, who are integral part of your company, regardless, I know it's a culture and how they feel about women, but you're from America. So how do you allow an integral part of your company to participate in that? Because it's money.
Right. Yep.
So this kind of goes back to what we were talking about AI. When it comes to money, nothing matters. That's it.
No.
End of story.
That's a long
Phil
one. Who's
says
that?
we were on the
Oh.
we were on the moon, but used studio footage when the aliens showed up. On one theory that supports both, both notions. The moving flag was a jump call. I can't fucking read. Oh, jump cat. I don't know. Hold on, I gotta put my glasses on, dude. I can't read with these fucking sunglasses, and I sound like a friggin' illiterate fool, and I have to apologize.
We
but
wouldn't
I
have a
can't
little
say-
MTV intro with the guy on the moon flag, with the MTV flag. What do you
Bane says the reactions become tied to the character, not the real person. So Bane, that's the problem. Like as human beings, we have to identify this is a make-believe character, right? So like
Right.
if you watch a movie and the guy from Old Country from No Old Men, right, murders a whole bunch of people. This is like the reverse stuff, Jimmy. The guy gets hate because people think he's a real murderer. Do you remember The Sopranos when who's the guy that killed the pregnant stripper? Ralphie, right? Do you know what kind of death threats Ralphie got?
That was horrible.
It was a horrible scene.
Yeah. I'm glad.
Oh, wait a minute. Listen, Jimmy. Ripshot says Chris Benoit was never placed in handcuffs. Yeah, because he killed himself because he was a pussy. Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, Rip.
I mean, that's a fact.
There's one small detail you left. It's terrible.
Bane says the fans blur lines between act and the person, making it harder to discern where the character ends and the real person begins.
Right.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Look, Ben was great. We all know that. Guy was a wrestling machine. I was a fan of his during his career. I can't watch him. I can't watch him. It's just one of those things for me where it's like, okay, I can look past a lot of things, but I can't even concentrate because when I look at him, all I feel is like really torn up. So I guess it still bothers me, you know?
Hey, Phil says Booker T called the Hulkster the N-word, right?
Yes. And
that was forgiven, right?
Of course. What about Vince and John Cena? Come on, Vince, what are you doing?
All right, how about this one, Jimmy? We've had many guests on the show here. In fact, we are the ones that got Dark Side of the Ring to start going over it. And you and me are guilty, I guess, in a way. Jimmy Snuka, Nancy Argentina.
Yeah.
Or Argentino, I apologize.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
Wow, isn't that an exquisite example of something getting swept under the rug and he crept away happily ever after? Is that inaccurate? Because, everybody still loves Jimmy.
And to be fair, we love Jimmy. Loved Jimmy. Loved Jimmy.
Right. But okay, so let's play devil's advocate. How do you process when you watch a Jimmy Snuka match, knowing what you definitely seem to understand here?
And I'm going to say I'm a fucking hypocrite, dude, because
okay,
I don't look at Jimmy Snuka matches like like you. I refuse to watch Chris Benoit matches, but I have no issues watching a Jimmy Snuka match.
Yeah, it's selective. We're no better. We're picking our poisons.
You know what,
but
Jimmy?
you know
You're
what,
right.
though?
Thanks for calling us out. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Thank you.
To be fair
calling us
to
a
the
fraud.
guy sitting at the table, because let's pretend we're being served. We're being served something here. We have to wade through a load of shit in our soup. Waiter. There's a lot of garbage in there. Hulk Hogan was our childhood favorite. Do you really think we wanted to grow up to see this, to hear this?
Well, Jimmy,
really
to be fair on the Snuka thing, Jimmy Snuka was never arrested, and he was brought to court before he died, and he never made it. Right. So the reality of it is we don't really know the truth, right? And we had Tonga Kid on who said nothing happened. She fell, right? Exactly said that on our interview. We had Tony Atlas who said he didn't want to talk about it, then quickly talked about how Nancy went out with Tony's wife to go pick up cocaine and the dealer wasn't around. So she came back empty-handed. Snuka hit her so hard her head spun like The Exorcist. So, it's who you believe and what the facts are, right?
Right. But that one definitely crept away. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
Listen to this very intelligent comment. And, sir, I You have at user TS7 whatever, which you really should put your name because this is a very you seem like an intelligent person. You ready, Jimmy? Humans never forgive the crime, but time forgives the perpetrator.
Interesting. I actually find that interesting because I find more and more on a global scale how Hitler has his apologists, and it's okay to hate on Israel. So I you know what? There is some truth to that. I have seen that where the rewriting of history and you know what? Blah 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 blah. And it's like, okay, here we go. This is how evil theology creeps back in. This is why we keep repeating the mistakes humanity has made over the last couple of thousand years, whether you want to go back to Alexander the Great, or you want to go back to Genghis Khan, or you want to go back to Napoleon, wherever you go back, you can point at any point on the map in the world, and you'll find someone who's ready to kill, ready to use, ready to trick. I'm going to trick you, and you're going to follow my way. There's always someone, always. It's never going to end.
Let me ask you this. We had Ron Waterman on last week. We asked him about does Christ forgive? And he feels that if someone truly wants forgiveness, even if they're in the last breath after murdering 8 million people, this person will be forgiven.
Right.
I'm going to ask you, how do you feel about that personally? And then I'm going to ask you this also. Shouldn't we all forgive because we're no better than anybody else?
Oh, yeah, in a perfect moral scale, yeah. But if you've ever had somebody you knew murdered, you don't, you're not normal after that. I'm sorry. You can have the deepest faith and say, sure, maybe some people can do that. Congratulations. You know, I'm glad you have the ability to do that. But I think it's been about 30 years now. And I still think about the life that was taken away and how old they would be today, and that the soulless sack of shit had the nerve to kill themselves after they killed the person. And it's just, you asked me about forgiveness. I'm not capable in that situation. I think he's a piece of shit, and if there's a hell, I hope he's rotting in it eternally. I guess that makes me just another human being, But you served me a lot of shit in my soup with that story, Mike. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
I'm not happy with the waiter. What are you serving me this shit for? That I got to carry this now for the rest of my fucking life?
Phil says, didn't Snuka and Benoit do headbutts off the top rope onto Double J at Nitro?
Guess they should have kept hitting their noggins. I mean, what are you going to,
Wait a minute. So someone said that on our a bunch of people said, the guy was doing headbutts and it cost him this. And I'm like, oh my God, it's fucking fake wrestling. Come on already.
You know what, though? At the end of the day, doesn't it just validate my argument that the guy was batshit fucking insane? I don't care how he got there. He got there doing a business he wanted to do. He cashed big paychecks and he wrestled big time hard. He was great at it. He bounced his head around like a basketball, and that's the life he chose. It doesn't reverse the fact that he was a fucking lunatic at the end. CTE just helps my case. I'm like, what are you talking about? His brain was rattled. He was nuts. How is this an out? It's not an out.
Well, Jim, my whole point is, Jimmy, if say CT is an out, then if you're born with mental illness, but I'm just saying, let's play hypothetical. We believe that CTE is an out. You get an out, right?
Yeah.
Now my next question is someone's born and they're crazy, right? They have a mental deficiency. They're missing a gene, whatever the problem is, right? And they go kill a bunch of people. What's the difference?
How about two guys are born crazy? One of them decides that they do all this like similar physical things to their skulls in their craft, okay? Two guys are born crazy. They both do these physical things to themselves. One of them decides, I'm going to kill my family. And the other one was New Jack, who said, no way. I never once thought to myself, maybe I'll go kill my family now. As crazy as New Jack was and all the fucked up shit New Jack did, New Jack knew. Remember there were two other thieves on the cross? You want to talk about forgiveness? What did the one thief go? Bah! If you are who you say you are, you'll show me, you bullshit artist. And what did the other one say? That's not the way to go here. You know what I mean? So, yeah, there were two crazy batshit guys who both had CTE. You're going to tell me New Jack didn't have CTE? I would never kill my family.
But how about
now,
how about the fans, Jimmy? How about the fans? I mean, at what
What
point
about
are the fans just as fucking crazy as the fucking wrestler? And you know what's a funny thing
What
that you
about-
brought
what-
up too? If you do all the shit, you never see these guys going into the army. You want to go kill people, go to fucking army.
Yeah. Yeah, and how about this too? You want to scream about the CTE, the same fans that demanded that level of violence because that's what you expected out of them? Fucking hypocrites.
How about these two gentlemen? Rock and Roll Buck Zumhoff
Oh, please.
and Grizzly Smith.
Now it's weird because Zumhoff seems to get all the hate he deserves. And
Yes.
how is it that Grizzly Smith, who has like multiple atrocities, somehow slips underneath? Am I missing something? Help me out, Mike.
No, you're not missing it. It's a great point. It's a great point.
I mean, my God. So it's all selective, and we're getting back to selective. I mean, they're both disgusting, bro. What else can you say about that? You know, I never had to lace up a pair of boots to know that they're both disgusting. Is that okay,
Well,
Mike? What do you think?
Dude, you know what? Any guy, or even it's happening more too. These women and these good-looking women are having sex with 13-year-old boys. I mean, it's happening on the reg now. But
Yeah.
any adult that would take advantage of someone of a certain age is just out of control. Let me ask you this one. We had Dynamite Doll on, right? And she was pushing, Dynamite Kid for the Hall of Fame. She gave us a good interview, did pretty well, but again, she's on everybody's fucking podcast now, so it ended up not being such a special interview. No, well, it really didn't. It was like, listen, I'm just going to call it as I see it, right? She came on, she gave a good interview, the whole Jacques Rougeau thing, even though I kind of think it was a work. We spoke about that. I felt like...
No, you don't think so, do you?
Yeah,
Got it.
Exactly. So, she came on and she spoke about, her father and then if you heard that Jacques Rougeau interview, she was pretty upset. But so I was like, this is pretty good considering, that the whole Jacques Rougeau thing. And she gave a good interview, but then I got to tell you, all of a sudden she's just showing up on every fucking podcast. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? And now I don't want to be a dick about it, but I mean, literally, what has she ever done? She skimpily puts fucking clothes on and walks around as the Dynamite Kid's daughter. And I'm going to say this, Jimmy, is no, he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. This guy was the biggest piece of shit walking. Jacques Rougeau was not the piece of shit here. And that's what bothered me about, fucking Hannibal and these fans. It's like fucking Jacques Rougeau wasn't wrong here. This guy embarrassed him. We know what he did to Outback Jack. They basically poisoned the fucking guy. That a guy's fucking has no legs and is blind. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, fuck Dynamite Kid. He's a dick.
Yeah.
He's a dick. And that's it.
He
deserves nothing.
He did a lot of bad shit to people. Unprovoked. But we know that.
But he was a good wrestler, man.
So what? It's not the be all end all.
Morton says, Buck Zumhoff is pure scum. So I'm going to ask you, Morton.
Yeah.
I'd love you to comment. So if Rock and Roll Buck Zumhoff is scum, is Stone Cold Steve Austin scum? Is Hulk Hogan scum? Is Dynamite Kid scum? I'm just asking. I'm not. I think Rock and Roll Buck Zumhoff is scum. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Aren't the rest of them scum too?
I think you'll get different answers. I think that, and not just with that one person. I think with all people. Everybody's got a different weird line, I guess. But I never understood.
By the way, Rip says Grizzly Smith is a case of time for getting a perpetrator.
Or how about Grizzly Smith was never as famous as some of the offshoots? How about that? Like, what if this had been Jake the Snake Roberts? What if this had been Rock and Robin? I mean, what if this had been and
I liked Rock and Robin. Think about her; she was raped by her father.
Don't get
raped
started,
by the person.
I can't anymore. And it's weird that he flies under the radar. How on earth does that happen? You know, he's not sexy enough for the internet to go wild over, or is it because he's gone?
Because
I
he's
mean,
irrelevant. He's irrelevant. Sooner or later, O.J. Simpson will be irrelevant.
never. No, no, never. It never will be irrelevant. And I couldn't stand when the whole thing was happening, but never. That will go. People will be studying that, if we're still a civilization, 200 years from now, people will be studying that case. That will never, like Manson, that will never go away. There's certain things that happen in society that will never go away historically, one way or the other.
So, Jimmy, let me ask you this. In life, right, we spoke to
Yes.
Waterman, and, you're a believer in Christ. I'm a believer in Christ. A sin is a sin is a sin. But as a human being,
Right.
I just can't. I still have levels of sin. I'm sorry. Like if I was to say to you, beating up your wife or putting Mickeys into someone's drink so they get totally fucked up, which is worse?
Oh, you can't be beating up your wife. I mean, they're both really, really wrong.
But you're answering the question. This is what we all have this dilemma. So
Well,
how
I
about
think that's
beating
worse.
up your
They're both terrible.
beating up your wife or raping your daughter?
Oh, I think raping your daughter is even worse than beating up your wife.
That's my whole point. It's like,
Yeah.
as humans, there's fucking levels, but all of them are scumbags. I mean, that's the
Right.
reality of it. Stone Cold Steve
Right.
Austin, let me tell you something. I don't care if you're on the juice, whatever. You beat up two of your wives, and not just once, numerous times.
And he's adored. I don't know what to tell you, bro. I still love Stone Cold too, even as we're talking about this. I'm like,
I do too.
all right.
I do
what am
too.
I supposed to? What am I supposed to do about that? And then look, you got to play a little devil's advocate, right? I mean, what kind of women was he living with? No, never right to touch them. Never, never, never. Not saying that, but my God, was he goaded into complete insanity?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it could have been. I don't know. A lot of the times that, and this goes both ways, where the other one can drive the other one to complete batshit insanity. It's like, what are you doing? Stop.
Rib, by
So,
the way, you're
I don't
right.
know.
Not a lot of fans know who Grizzly Smith is. So you're
Right.
totally understand the core of the reason, no doubt.
And I
right?
think Snuka got under the radar and it got pushed because of the time period that it happened in. If it had been, I don't know.
Listen, let's talk about it honestly. Again, I know I like to pat our show in the back, but this is a fact. That Nasty Argentino thing was dead wood until we brought it back to life.
So was the Ring Boy scandal.
That's right. We brought the Ring Boy scandal back to life.
And just because we wanted to know more, turned into the biggest clusterfuck of everybody getting their shit in the soup. It's like, oh my God.
And just because we wanted to know more about Nancy Argentino, once it caught legs, all of a sudden Dark Side of the Ring's doing it. Everybody's fucking talking about it.
Don't fucking tell me nobody's watching this little show from fucking New York. We're fucking getting Uncle Floyded left and right. Fuck off.
I know we are. All right, guys.
It's the fucking truth. Ladies and gentlemen, John Bon Jovi. Where you going, John? Poor Uncle Floyd. Ladies and gentlemen, Howard Stern. Where you going, Howard? See you later, Floyd. Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, Blue Oyster Cult. Oh, see you later. No, they were cool. The Ramones, Bowie. At least Bowie wrote a song about Floyd. Maybe somebody will write a song about us that's not.
Well, you froze, Jimmy, so hopefully you come back. But yes, hopefully it won't be AI. Maybe it'll be a Wisteria Hall original.
Am I
don't
now?
know. What's that?
Can you hear me? Am I back now?
You're back. Yeah, I got you, though. You're going to say that's not it.
It glitches out over here. What the fuck?
All right, so we're into WrestleMania weekend. It's finally here. Jimmy's going to do his best to watch it. He's working because he's a hard worker. I will be keeping him on. I was hoping for him to come over and we'd watch it together, but he's working, and what can you do? But I will keep him abreast. But I want to go through the matches with you. I want you to tell me if they're going to be – listen, let's talk to the reality of it, okay? Wrestling is pricing out the normal fan.
Oh, where you been?
Again, we talk about art and love. I only wish I had art and love in my life. So I don't begrudge the person. People think it's ridiculous. If you want to take all your money and buy a front row seat to WrestleMania, God bless, dude. It's your money, man. It's your money. Right, Jimmy?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, but they have priced the regular fan out a long time ago. Long time ago. That was very special going to Raw with you a couple of weeks ago because we didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't begrudge. You want to buy yourself 1,000,000 wrestling belts? By all means. Listen, when we go to these events, right, and we see these fans, it's clear that some of these fans don't have a ton of money, and they save every little penny to get 1,000,000 things signed because this is what they love. Good
Right.
for you. And guess
Yep.
what? We're the older wrestling fan. Yeah, you know what? We may not agree with what's going on now, but you know what? The fucking 8-year-old kid that's sitting out there, this is their thing. They love it.
They love
So
it.
you know what? I understand. Look, you said it at the beginning of the show. If Darby Allin went to the WWE, he'd make him a ton of money.
If they packaged them right, yeah, they sold them right. You see what they're doing with Danhausen. Look, just do it right. He'd make the money. Look, the kids today are not looking for Hulk Hogan. They're not raised on like, the mighty America and the evil enemy and stuff. Nowadays, they're being told we're not so good. I mean, they're not looking for any kind of hero or body type that we were.
They're looking for a good intro song, a good
Right.
entrance,
Yes.
and that's it.
And
Something
text
they
your
can
friends
sing
during
along
the
to.
match. You forgot during the match. You text your friends during the match because you got your
Yep.
phone.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Take a couple
if
of
something
selfies.
exciting happens, you'll mark out for a second, and then you'll go back to your phone.
Right.
You
But this is what sells right now. The only problem is it's not sustainable. And my big fear is as we get to WrestleMania, and then as the next one goes to Saudi Arabia, maybe it doesn't consider what's happening, but we'll just say it is. Right? They're putting more stuff overseas now, right? Eventually TKO is gonna be like, okay, we've drained this bitch, sell it. A fucking Tony Khan's gonna come in, buy it, and it'll never be the same. Ever. And guess what? We're so old at that point, does it really fucking matter anyway? No, it doesn't.
To us, no. We've always got YouTube to watch the old matches if we want to, and then we'll say how slow they are.
And how terrible they are. Yeah, exactly.
It's just look, the kids today don't look at wrestling the same way, and why should they? The product has changed. Everything's different now. They look, and they also want. People didn't realize what. Well, you know what? Maybe the younger generation does. They didn't want Vince McMahon around. They didn't want the old WWE ways of doing things around. Do you realize that the whole Roman Reigns, OTC, the whole Usos and Sammy, and then leading to Cody, that might have been the last of the great, truly long storylines, because Vince was involved in those makings as they were forming. We may never ever. The fans today can't take an armbar rest hold. Why would they accept long-term growth? It's what they want. They want instant gratification. Like this week, they want so-and-so to have the belt. We've seen this happen before where Vince is forced to cave into that. How long does that last? It doesn't last. What lasts is someone who really knows how to write storylines and understands the business like the P.T. Barnum of the business did. Mike, it's gone. That's your fear? Well, you know what? It's already been realized that is gone. You cannot replace, love him or hate him, the mind and the experience and the business savvy of Vince McMahon. You can't. You're not going to top it. You can only hope to, what I see them doing, by the way, as we profess doom on them, until the calculators say otherwise, what I see is what Hal Steinbrenner does with the Yankees. He gives out a good product. The Yankees are good. They're good. He gets his numbers. He makes his money. It stays a top dollar earner, and you move on. But the Yankees don't feel like the Yankees used to when George ran it. You're not going to replace George Steinbrenner or Vince McMahon.
Jimmy, the other thing, too, is you have to be invested in the team,
the
character, right?
But the creator himself, they both were. Vince was invested.
Yes,
George was invested. Everyone kills George for the 80s. The Yankees won the most games in Major League Baseball during the 80s when George was supposedly fucking up. Okay, we didn't get a World Series, but at least we won more than everybody else did. I don't know. He wanted to win. Vince wants to win. I don't feel that way with what's going on now. They feel like we've won and we can run in place and we can give a safe product and make our money. That's what I feel.
Until people can't afford it anymore, right? All right, let's get into the matches a little bit.
I'm priced out already.
Opening on regular ESPN on night one, Jacob Fatu is going to I think I have it right. Jacob Fatu is going to wrestle Drew McIntyre. Thoughts? Is that going to be a good match?
Oh, it should be a great match. Why wouldn't it be?
It's
It should be
unsanctioned.
very physical.
It's unsanctioned.
It should be very physical. But it's funny too. I talk about how should Jacob Fatu feel about Oba Femi's push? Because I felt like before Oba got here, Jacob was the fast track to like the wild animal.
Yes.
And here he is doing the ESPN match with poor Drew, who's never going to have his day, even though he beat Brock Lesnar all those years ago in front of no one.
Because certain people just don't have the juju, man. And you know what? He's one of them. Fatu can't get out of his own way, dude.
That's brutal. It should be a great match, though.
How about Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and I Show Speed versus the Usos in LA Knight?
My God, I don't care. And this is what you do with Logan Paul. I'm disappointed. I guess they must sense that the internet would have a meltdown because Logan Paul's not a wrestler. I'm sorry, but when Logan Paul's in the ring and Logan Paul talks and looks the way he does and wrestles the way he does, I think the guy's an exquisite heel and should be pushed to the fucking moon. I don't care who... am I missing something? I feel like
no, you're not.
Paul,
and he will be pushed to the moon, and he's getting bigger by the day. The guy is getting huge.
This is pushing him back on the card, in my opinion, compared to previous.
You know what, dude? They have to fill the card a little bit, and it's just
I don't know.
All right, how about this one that people feel? This is night two's opening on ESPN, bro. Oba Femi, Brock Lesnar. A lot of people feel like this is the main event. Thoughts on this?
Well, this is just Kong and Zilla. I mean, Jesus God, this is going to be fucking incredible. I'm setting myself up already. You know, I'm a huge Lesnar fan, so as a wrestling fan, I'm setting myself up that he's going to lose. So
you think Lesnar's losing?
You've been telling me that. You're like, oh, he has to lose.
So
I'm
going to go with this. I heard from a little birdie that may have the inside track, and you heard it on here on Monte the Pharaoh. And if I'm going to ruin it for people, I want to apologize. But this is going to be fact, from what I understand.
Oh, no.
Paul Heyman is going to turn on Brock Lesnar, and Oba Femi is going to go with Paul Heyman. Setting up SummerSlam for Gunther to retire Lesnar as a good guy.
Wow. Boy, Lesnar's really doing favors on the way out the door, if that's the case. I mean, it makes sense for Heyman to be with Femi, obviously.
By the way, AIM6232 says, I thought Vince Russo was going to say wrestling JCW. Yeah, we all knew that. We all knew that wasn't happening, right, Jimmy?
What happened?
He said, I thought Vince Russo was going to save wrestling with JCW. Vince Russo, I'm sorry to say, is a talentless hack, and that's a fact. And it's not because we don't like him. You know what? He was in the right place at the right time. That's it.
Yep.
That caught the Jerry Springer, that he knew that Vince didn't watch Jerry Springer, and he took the ideas for himself. So are you thinking Oba's going with Heyman?
Well, I could see that he could. It makes sense.
Do you take a hot baby face like that and put him with Paul Heyman that quickly?
If you do it this way, it's pretty fucking dramatic.
That's a match you got to watch, right? That's the one we want to see.
Yeah, too bad I'm going to miss it, but I'll have to watch highlights.
Yeah, YouTube. Don't worry about it. AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. This one I thought would be okay, but AJ Lee is just no good, dude. She doesn't have it. She never had it, in my opinion, but wrestling fans think. But now she really doesn't have it.
I kind of don't care. They haven't drawn me in. Can Becky stop getting nose jobs, by the way?
That's true.
I can't anymore. She turns sideways, and I'm like, why did you do that to yourself? You were like the most natural looking, I don't know, man. I just don't like when they do that stuff. Charlotte's not recognizable either anymore from the old days. It's like, what is this?
What did you say the other day? Like, she needs to eat a sandwich or something? Like, what the fuck happened to her?
Oh, it freaked me out when we saw her live because I've seen her live.
That's right. We were live. I forgot about that.
Yeah, over the course of her career, I've seen her live a couple of times. I was like, what the hell? Eat some food. I was going to bring the chicken plate down there, but there was no chicken. Everything had bones. Charlotte doesn't like bones.
Yeah.
What?
That's for sure. Here's a sleeper match: Liv Morgan, Stephanie Vicaire. Can I say this? And I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan has won me over, Jimmy. I know you've always been a fan, but I
Yeah.
feel like she embraces her character like no other. Like
She's
all of a
great.
sudden, she just goes, "I'm Liv Morgan now," and she just loses herself in the character. And this I appreciate. And I got to tell you, with Stephanie Vicaire's limited English speaking, she's fucking incredible, dude.
It hasn't clicked with me with Vicaire yet. I just feel shades of gray. She doesn't. It hasn't been enough to. It's interesting what you said about Liv, though. When you think about it, Liv, when she's doing her thing as Liv, is more convincing and more engaged than a lot of legendary names do it. By the way.
And by the way, did you catch Liv Morgan's new single that came out? Now that was AI driven.
Oh no.
All right, how about the end of night one, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton? Are you looking forward to this match?
What's there to look forward to? I mean, they've already kind of ruined it, haven't they? I mean, the match itself should be great, so I guess of course, that should be the most important thing, but what about the caller? Matt, what about this McAfee crap? What is there going to be? Something juicy has to happen during this match, Mike.
Now, I've been told that the secret person behind it is Stephanie McMahon. I'm not biting on this because I just want to refuse for that to be the case.
All right.
Here we are again, Jimmy. I'm just going to sit here and hope that it's The Rock. That's all I can do. I know it won't be, and I'll be let down, but this is all I can hope for, that The Rock is orchestrating this and he gets involved in both main events.
You got to stop wishing for The Rock. He's let you down how many WrestleManias in a row?
Forget it. I've given up. But you know what? If Stephanie McMahon is behind this, who gives a shit?
Right. I agree with that. That would not do much for me. I want it to be Vince.
Oh my God, dude! If it was Vince,
I want it to be Vince.
They now officially brought us
Vince
back to wrestling.
I wanted to, getting back to storylines. I want it to be Vince. I want Vince to screw over Cody, and Randy gets the belt, and then Vince. What's Vince's motive? Gee, what do you think it would be? You son of a bitch! You left my company. You started up trouble for me with another company. I hate your guts and all this other stuff, and that would be almost too good. To tell you the truth, it'll never happen.
It's even harder to believe than The Rock coming.
It is.
Can I up your make believe story with my make believe story if it's Vince?
Sure, why not? You're gonna
Vince
up it
comes
after that
in.
with Vince?
Vince comes in and he says, "I'm here because my piece of trash daughter and my piece of trash son-in-law, you represent them. You represent what I lost. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton represents the old guard, the Vince McMahon guard." And that becomes a story. That's why I think Shane McMahon would actually work. It wouldn't be Vince, but Shane wouldn't be so bad to be there.
It'd be great if it was Shane behind, and they write his character in that he starts running the company and stuff like that.
Yes, yes.
I could go for that.
But again, you know what, dude? It's not going to happen. It's going to be Pat McAfee, and why is Pat here? And
right, and Hornswoggle.
Yeah, well, you know what? There's more of a chance being Hornswoggle than fucking The Rock.
And he's still out there making bad movies.
I mean, we all know that Cody Rhodes. Did you know Cody Rhodes got arrested this week?
No, come on, for what?
He went to Pat McAfee's house and broke up his studio.
Oh, so he got arrested.
So he got arrested. Yes.
Yeah, that's very engaging. That makes me really want to pay the extra money to see the match.
Well, hold on. Let's post some pictures. Try to tell me what you think of these great pictures that they have. It's so fucking stupid. I can't take it. It's so fucking annoying, and it's just bad, and it's just like, just stop already. Just stop. Hold on. What do you think of these pictures? Hold on. Here we go. Cody arrested.
And stop right there. Click. Perfect, guys.
That's great. I love it. Perfect. And cut. Great job.
You don't think they'll get those? You don't think they got those?
Look,
you don't think they got those old
he's getting
photos?
his picture. He's getting his picture. Come on.
Right.
Dumb
Right.
shit.
Yeah, he looks stressed. He looks like this is the worst day of my life. I just got arrested. He looks stressed.
Dude, wrestling sucks. I'm sorry. All right.
Well,
the last
thanks to
match
the internet.
and the last match, Roman Reigns, CM Punk. Did you catch their last blow-off conversation?
I might have refreshed me. I've seen a lot of back and
Basically,
forth.
it was like, "This is why I hate you," Cody wrote. I mean, CM Punk goes, "I hate you because you had everything I didn't. You had a family.
I envy you." Right.
I envy you." And then
Right.
Roman Reigns is like, "I hate you because, you know, I only wish after I left the company for the next 12 years, people would chant my name." At first, I was like, "This sucks," but then I was like, you know what? It's kind of cool. It wasn't that bad.
Right. I mean, how much more can they say to each other? Your mother sews socks that smell?
Well, then he also apologized. You know what I mean? He apologized. Mitch says Becky Lynch is a Hollywood star. That's why she's getting her nose done.
Ugh. Looks terrible.
Oh my God! Wait a minute. Look at this. Twisted A Torn says they're already saying Randy Orton may already be injured. Oh my God, that would be terrible.
What? Ugh. Yeah, then they have to do a complete rewrite. If he can't go, they have to shorten the match or do something.
Oh, could you imagine that? All right, guys, let's get to the war room. Well, let's scrap the whole thing. What do we do next?
No, they show Randy like lying on the floor like he's been attacked, and then
Oh my God,
I'm gonna ruin it, Mike. They pan up and you see Riddle, bro.
Oh, ugh, oh.
I ruined it, bro. So
right.
are you gonna be upset if Roman Reigns doesn't win, which wouldn't make much sense to me, but.
Am I going to be upset? No, I'm not going to be upset, but it's just like, why would you just keep it on CM Punk? Like, why? Why? What's the reason?
Again, to me, if you're going to put it on Roman, he better have it for a while. There better be a plan here.
No, Darby Allin's going to come. Darby Allin's going to come and beat him.
What, with a surfboard?
Here's the thing. It all makes sense if The Rock comes and interferes, and then Roman Reigns gets mad that he cost CM Punk his title and he didn't want the help, and that leads to, Saudi Arabia. Listen, anything beyond Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, or The Rock, I said it a couple of weeks ago, it's a loss for me. I don't know where to go. And if CM Punk pins Roman Reigns, then what do? What's next?
Right. I don't know.
If you're right and the Usos turn on Roman Reigns, I'm going to throw it.
I didn't say they would.
I think you had mentioned there could be a possibility, right?
Yeah, down the road, there's always a possibility of something like that, but I don't know if that'll be now. I mean,
or if Femi comes down, or what if CM Punk aligns himself with Paul Heyman and they cheat? How lame would that be?
Well, I've always wanted him to be back with Paul, but why would Paul? It doesn't make sense. Paul's always running with the next hot hand, And
none of it makes sense, dude. Anything they're doing right now, listen, if that whole thing that Pat McAfee said, if it just came out of Shane McMahon's mouth, or if it came out of Vince McMahon's mouth, it would have been gold. The problem is It was fucking Pat McAfee.
Right. I don't know how much longer it can sustain itself. I mean, you're praying for The Rock, and we're praying for Vince McMahon to show up and all this other stuff. Where is WrestleMania going to be 5 years from now? And how?
By the way, hold on, dude. Rib says they could get AI to replace Randy. That would, you know what? Don't look. They'll save a lot of money. They could have AI make the video, and they have the match.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Yeah, that's
where's
wonderful.
Wrestling going, Jimmy? I told you. Once TKO drains the blood out of this thing, once they're done going to Europe and the Middle East, and that gets drained, they're going to go, all right, sell this fucking thing now. We've gotten everything we can out of it. We're done.
Yeah.
And Tony Khan will be waiting with his fucking father's fucking pocketbook, a wallet, and he'll buy it, and wrestling is over. It's over.
Wouldn't it be interesting if it went? It'll never go full circle the way the territory days were. Wouldn't it be interesting though if what happens that you think could happen happens, Would it ever go back to like Thursday nights? There's a company like maybe AEW size at most or whatever. Because look, I still think there's going to be wrestling fans. So wouldn't that be weird if somehow it goes back to the days of, okay, on Thursday nights on TNT cable channel, I know that this wrestling company is going to be on, and they sell out at the Omni or whatever the Omni is nowadays, or the Garden or the Coliseum up here. I wouldn't be so bad removing all this fucking nonsense and hoopla. If that's the end result, that we still have wrestling at the end of the day, then maybe it'll get back to watching it just for wrestling. I don't fucking know.
I'll
It'd
be
ironic,
honest
though.
with you. Last night, AEW was on, right? We're a wrestling show. And I decided to watch Love on the Spectrum on Netflix instead. Which is a great show, by the way. I recommend anybody with Netflix watch Love on the Spectrum.
Yeah. So in other words, if it ever does go full circle, Mike will not be tuning into Georgia Championship Wrestling.
Jason Morning says WrestleMania is having a hell of a time trying to sell tickets. They certainly are.
Yeah. What are they charging?
Still thousands of tickets available. Is the pay-per-view blackout still in play? No, you have streaming. They can't black you out. You're paying a monthly fee. Could you imagine you pay a monthly fee? Oh, it wasn't sold out. We're going to black it out on you. I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
No, they'll drop the company before they have to get into that position.
Here's what's going to happen, and it happens every year. You get juiced because in your mind, you write these storylines and you think it's going to be great. And then you sit there for 2 days and you go, this was not good.
Right.
And then you'll hear, some wrestling show like Busted Open going, oh, man, that was so fucking incredible. What a great show. I mean, if I have to hear how great these AEW shows are, these pay-per-views, let me tell you something. If their pay-per-views are any fucking as bad as their TV show, don't tell me that there's fucking, it's good wrestling. Let me ask you, if you're not into the wrestler or the storyline's not any good, Jimmy, do you want to watch wrestling?
If it's good, then yeah.
So just two guys you don't know, and they have a wrestling match.
No.
No.
What has to happen is, well, you know what though? Actually, no. Storyline has to always mean something. Two great wrestlers can make the storyline about the wrestling. We've seen that happen,
which is fine. Which is
great, but it's very few and far between. So,
but you got to have a storyline. It's like going to an independent show, Jimmy, and us sitting there and go, okay, these two guys are wrestling. Now these two guys are wrestling. Now these two guys. I know nothing about them. I have no clue. They don't do. Right. It's like, come on, man. Come on.
I've seen examples where it didn't matter about storyline, like the weird time that Benoit, Jericho, and I think it was Eddie, all somehow crisscrossed an ECW, and they were putting on these clinics of moves I'd never seen before. But now we've seen all the moves, so I guess it doesn't apply today. But
no, it doesn't.
At the time, watching those three guys, and none of them were superstars yet. Come on, they weren't. And I'm watching this, I'm going, oh my God. Maybe want to watch the next week. Like Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn was about the wrestling. It really was. So I didn't need the storyline. But today, with all the moves that have now been revealed, those guys were creating a blueprint that we're sick of now. Everybody does this stuff now, so I don't think it applies today.
No. And I got to be honest with you, I'm more entertained, with certain guys than okay, Danhausen is actually more entertaining with his stupid bullshit. But like you said, you got to do it a very small amount because it'll just get shitty. You know what I mean?
Right. No, they're doing that correctly. Danhausen is more interesting to me than Kofi Kingston. Sorry. Currently, I'd rather watch Danhausen.
I'll tell you what, I'd rather watch this guy, Cocaine, man. We had him on the show. That guy fucking rocked.
Yeah, but he didn't share any,
But dude, seriously, I would rather watch a guy get his ass kicked and then pull out a bag of cocaine and snort it, and all of a sudden he has superpowers.
Right.
That to me is good shit.
Well, funny, good entertainment is just as good as blasé wrestling. And no, I don't want to just see two guys just wrestle. Something outside the box has to be happening during that match to keep me watching it. Otherwise, I'm watching. What was that show that you switched over to?
Love on the Spectrum, Jimmy. You got to watch it. It's very
That
good.
sounds so ridiculous. Love on the Spectrum. What's that
Yeah.
about? Like the next door neighbor can't stop looking through the window? I'm on the
No,
spectrum.
dude, no.
What is that
It's
fucking
people.
about?
It's people that are on the spectrum falling in love.
Oh, that's interesting. A
You're very funny.
so-called normal.
You're so funny.
So-called normal people can't figure out love, and they're figuring it out. That figures.
I got to tell you, dude, it's like
That makes sense.
they're so innocent and pure. It
Right.
makes you feel like there is a chance for society. They're like they have no agenda, right?
Well, maybe
They're
they
just-
should be running everything then.
They should.
Really?
Here's the scary part, though. Some of these guys on the spectrum had hotter women than I've ever gotten, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Well, what does that tell you?
I'm a loser.
Well, what about our last guest? He was getting them by the truckload. I'm like, he was the moon guy. I mean,
He was Max Moon.
he was the moon guy, and he's getting like a sea of them. I'm like, I give up.
Before we go, though, I want to say to you, because when he said he couldn't work on the mic, I felt like saying, yeah.
How about this? Check this out.
After battling many various enemies throughout the universe, Mac.
I'm sorry. Those are probably the worst mic skills in history of mic skills.
I still couldn't get over that he could travel throughout the universe, but he couldn't get the costume through airport security. It was too bulky.
How about this? All right, Conan quit. Who fits the suit? This guy. Get in it. You're on. Mad Max.
No, the funniest part is how Vince does things. You know what we were talking about earlier? Suit up. Fucking Vince, man. You're a dick, Vince. You really are.
And he doesn't even know the guy's name. What's your name?
Let me think about it. The guy comes to him. He's an employee. He's wrestling for him. He bleeds his heart to him. I'd like to do more. Blah, 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 blah. Vince is like, okay. He walks out of there like, I got nowhere. And then Vince is like, oh, Conan quit. Here you go. I'm like, boy, Vince is brutal.
Vince is brutal, dude. I
Turn up.
cannot. Oh, I love it. All right, anyway, I want to remind everybody that we're brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel and Monte and the Pharaoh. A partnership made in heaven. Saturday at 6 p.m., NBA. Jimmy, who you got? The Houston Rockets -5.5 against the LA Lakers.
What are you
thinking?
Why the hell are you not asking me about the Knicks? The playoffs are about to start, and you're asking me about LeBron.
All right, let me talk about the Knicks. The Knicks are -5 against the Atlanta Hawks on Saturday at 3:40 p.m.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what are we doing, baby?
I don't know which Knick team shows up. Is it the Knick team that like Brunson looks like Clyde Frazier and Cat actually like plays both ways, two-way ball and sinks in 25 points? I mean, which team is it? Because if that team shows up, that's one of the best 5 teams in the NBA. If that team doesn't show up, you might as well be playing the Brooklyn Nets.
And by the way, if you got some extra cash or you don't have any cash, go to FanDuel and spend your money, and bet on the Knicks, and then fucking curse out the Pharaoh because he told you what to do. FanDuel,
Bet on the Knicks. Said which team shows up. My God, you love putting words in my mouth. Hey.
And I want to remind everybody, listen, WrestleMania is almost here. Go get your WrestleMania shirt. Maybe get it for 500 level, man. Another proud sponsor of Monte and the Pharaoh. Jimmy, another great show. Always good to see you. I want to tell everybody thanks again for joining us on Thursday night, Jimmy. Wait a minute. Bain says TNA is better than AEW. Maybe. Not so sure.
Could be. I don't watch enough to know, to be honest.
Listen, I want to make cocaine the WWE. I hope cocaine comes out and beats Roman Reigns. What do you think?
That's awful. But if he came out and he beat Darby Allin, I'd love it.
Wait a minute. If cocaine is the one that is on Randy Orton's side.
That's awful. Who are you writing that for? That's terrible. I know what happens. Randy's injured, right? He's injured, and cocaine gives him some cocaine. And Randy goes out there and wins with it and uses it as a foreign object. Remember when Fuji used to throw the salt? He throws the cocaine and goes, would you stop? This is a terrible fucking skit. It's
I think that's the best storyline in history.
And go, Cody Rhodes, you are cursed.
If they do that, dude, would that piss you off?
Oh, that would be great. I'd laugh my ass off. and then Randy RKO's him because he's cursed. Yeah, that would be
Why
just as dumb.
why does Danhausen carrying around Benny Scaller's teeth like to the ringside? What is that all about?
Well, teeth are definitely a foreign object, and he uses those teeth very well. Do you know for sure that they are aforementioned teeth?
Yes, they are Benny Scaller's
How do you know?
teeth.
How do you know that?
I got an inside source.
Was it an eBay item that Danhausen won? I mean, what are you getting at?
Benny had to pay the rent on the mobile home he bought. He had to sell his
I must have
teeth.
these teeth.
Anyways, send us out, dude, please. I can't take it anymore.
I thought you were going to tell me it was one of Dave's leftovers after the veneer job.
Oh, please. That guy's got some shiny teeth, too.
Yeah, nice and shiny, just like Rudolph's nose.
We got, what is it with these podcasters, dude? One guy's got no teeth. The other guy's trying to get a penis enlargement, and he's calling up a girl on the phone. Fucking another guy's got veneers. The other guy's got a fucking ponytail. Wants $40 to teach you how to become a wrestler. It's like, but he wasn't a wrestler himself. It's a strange little planet we got here, bro.
And to think, I used to be disappointed when PWI was sold out at the stationery store.
It's like, what the fuck were we thinking?
I don't know.
I blame you for all this.
Yeah, blame me. Grab me by my ponytail with my long hair. Let's go into the duty pond, Jimmy. I don't want to go in the duty pond. I went to the duty pond. Here we go.
Let's jump in.
Andrew, is that you? You're taking up half the duty pond. That's okay. This chick said I could. I give up. I'm done. Duty pond.
And
Keep your fucking duty pond. I just want to read my PWI from 1980. Leave me alone. How's that?
what is it with these guys too? They get themselves, they find these girls, they buy themselves new cars. I can't do it anymore. I'm a professional wrestler.
Well, yeah, Elmer Fudd. I'm a professional wrestler.
I'm a professional wrestler.
Jesus Christ. Listen, bro, you've never laced up a pair of boots. You shut your bald face.
Hey, listen, you know what? Vince Russo will save wrestling because he's so talented.
JCW, bro.
You know what, too?
Asked Hannibal. Somebody wrote in and asked Hannibal, how come you're not working there? He's like, you'll have to ask them. Wah.
I don't know. It's maybe because you, been to jail 18 times.
I don't like clowns.
I am Hannibal. Just another guy. I can't anymore.
It's a cartoon land. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? All right, brother. Send us out, please.
You've been watching Monte and the Pharaoh on another crazy Thursday night. Until next week, later.
How about this? Check this out.
After battling many various enemies throughout the universe,
No scripts, no apologies. This is Monte and the Pharaoh. Step into the fire, we're breaking all the rules. Voices getting louder, we ain't playing for fools. From the streets of New York to the worldwide stage, uncaged opinions, yeah, we bring the rage. Truth hits hard like a chair shot swing. Legends get tested when the real ones sing. No filter talk, yeah, we say it proud. If you got a problem, say it out loud. Lights go